Hmm. Um, Hi everyone, and welcome to our last mini series on women's health. So, gosh, what a fun six little series it's been, or five series so far, eh, Kate? Like so much fun, so nice to share our passion for women's health. Obviously, from my perspective, all about movement, and from Kate's perspective, about nutrition. So, it's been so much fun. So, thank you for joining us. If you've been on live, if you watch the replays, we really appreciate having you here, and hopefully you're able to pick up just some little snippets of info that can impact your life in a positive way. So, in whatever way that is, I hope that it is effective for you. So, tonight we're talking all about boosting immunity, which I think is quite ironic because obviously at the moment I have a bit of a cold, so it's great timing. And it happens to the best of us, doesn't it, Kate? No matter what we do,
It does,
these things
yeah,
happen.
yeah. So,
But so tonight I thought I would kick it off about obviously immunity. And I think you're happy with that, eh, Kate? If we talk, I'll just jump in and start.
yeah, because
Yeah.
and I'll just add to it. Yes, it was super fun doing
Mm.
the series
Oh,
and,
yes.
learning so much from you, Nick. And yeah, as I say, just putting our passion out there, and
Mm.
helping people with making informed decisions. And sometimes that might be completely new information and might be some like nice recap information or some aha
Mm.
moments. So, but yeah, I'm from your perspective, I'll jump in then and ask you the question uh, that I think would be great, from your perspective in terms of, how does movement affect your immune system?
Absolutely. It's a really good question because I think we know that we should do things, and this is about every aspect of life, nutrition, physical activity, sleep, movement. Like we know what we should do, but sometimes it's knowing the why. And I think just I'm going to be really basic about this perspective tonight because obviously it's not so much physio, but it's just about moving our bodies. So basically, four components for me in my head that come straight to mind. The first thing is movement can help boost circulation. So we're looking at helping our immune cells, all of our antibodies move through our bodies more effectively to spot and help reduce any signs of infection. So that's the first thing is circulation boosting. It reduces stress hormones. So we know that regular movement can help reduce cortisol levels, help our stress hormones, which can, of course, if they are elevated or high consistently, that can lead to more chronic kind of infections or inflammation. So, number two, reducing stress. Um, it promotes better sleep, and I think this is something that probably Kate would touch on too. All of these double up, right? It's all movement, it's all nutrition. So it does promote better sleep, movement. We know this. And the last major thing, I think, it increases your lymphatic flow. So this is increase essential for filtering out any waste or infection products in your body. So as little as 30 minutes of movement a day, basically. So this is all about how it can help reduce inflammation or boost your immunity. So that it's just overall in general. So, big yawn. We play this game of catching yawns. So helping circulation, reducing stress hormones, promoting better sleep, and increasing lymphatic flow. So what happens if you have a cold? And I actually get this question quite a lot, and I also always quiz doctors on it too. If you have a cold, so basically, if your symptoms are above your neck, so we're thinking runny nose, mildly sore throat, light headache, then light exercise can be beneficial for you. So we're thinking a little bit of movement to help open your nasal passages, to help your breathing. It improves your mood and energy, of course. And again, like we talked about initially, it will support your lymphatic flow and circulation. It can help your recovery, but you have to be a very good judge of your own symptoms here. So mild cold-like symptoms, fine to do some gentle activity. That could be gentle walking, it could be gentle stretching, low intensity yoga, low intensity Pilates, really basic stuff. You are not out there to try and win an Olympic medal during a cold. It is important, however, to let your body rest if you are having other symptoms. So you need to rest and recover if you have a fever, if you have aches or chills, tightness in your chest, any chest pain. Oh my gosh, be mindful of that. Fatigue, any lightheadedness or dizziness, and if you're not sleeping well due to illness. I know personally for me, I will get injured if I am overtraining or over fatigued and tired. It's just one of those things that we do. So when your body is fighting an infection, it's really important to let your body rest and actually recover and focus all of its energy on your healing. So pushing through may delay your recovery and just can also affect your heart and make things a lot worse. So there's a lot of research out there, and again, I'm going to just touch on this, and it won't be long. Moderate intensity aerobic exercise is what we're aiming for when you are feeling a little bit off. Again, it can help your immune cells circulate. It can help your antibodies and white blood cells circulate to help fight that infection, and regulate stress hormones as well, improve sleep and mood, which we've really touched on.
And I feel like it
My
boosts
last
your
thought.
endorphins, it gives you that little endorphin
Oh,
kick because I've done that when I've got a cold and I
mm,
feel like, oh my gosh, I actually feel a little bit better. But
yeah, it's so true. And I'm kind of the same. I'm the kind of person that like I find it really frustrating if somebody lies on the couch all day when they've got a cold. I'm
Mm.
fine, obviously, if you've got a flu and you're fighting infection, absolutely. But if you are just run down, it is so good to get fresh air. We know that like it's just so valuable for your body.
And sunlight
Um,
too, eh? I'll talk
and
about vitamin D.
sunlight,
Yeah.
yes, vitamin D. Oh my gosh. And the last thing, I found a really good study. I didn't reference it, but we can do if you need. Basically, a study published by the Journal of Sports and Health Science found that people who walked 30 to 45 minutes 5 times a week had less sick days, shorter duration of colds, and less severe symptoms. Um, so that's just basic walking, like that's 30 minutes 5 times a day. Adrian, I know you do that, so like you're you'll be on fire. Yoga and Tai Chi are also good, and gentle strength training. Again, if you want to hit the gym with a cold, that's fine, obviously, as long as you're not contagious, but you don't want to be hitting like new records for your weight lifting and things like that. You are just, if anything, I would reduce it by half almost and just go in and go through your normal routine with less weight. Um, and see how you go. But that's pretty much from me. So those kind of things we know, they're all part of common sense as well. But listen to your body at the end of the day. If your body needs rest, rest, drink lots of water, and then just let your body recover. But go walking if it's mild. What about you, Kate? What about from a nutrition standpoint? What are your
Mm.
gems with immunity?
Yeah, and I actually just on your on your side, I think the walking is huge. And do you find that you're trying to also encourage people? Because I heard a really good study. I just need to find the reference to it. I read a lot, and sometimes you take information and the
Totally.
the exact one. But it was really interesting about even if you do your spin class, or you go for your big walk, you walk the dog every morning, but you still are sedentary the rest of the day, that is still has some really toxic, negative effects on the body. It's kind of
It
like,
does.
smoking. So what you're saying, like, just move. I mean, it's great that you might do, the spin class or the, aerobic exercise, but also little and often is also really important, just as you said, for that circulation.
Mm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think I know Dr. Stacey Sims did a lot of research on this, and they talked a lot about like going to the gym and doing a hard session and then going and sitting on your bottom for the rest of the day is not great for you. So they talk a lot about making sure you are getting in your movement throughout the day. And we talk about it a lot as snacking type exercise. But yeah, little walks throughout the days, taking the stairs instead of the lift, easy in Whangamata. We don't have anything like that. But just getting mobile as part of your daily life is just so effective for every aspect of your life. Absolutely.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, well, with nutrition, I mean, what we know is what we eat directly affects our, even our microbiome, right? And the diversity and the composition of the gut bacteria that's, within us. And that can directly affect our immune cells. So I know we seem to come back to the gut health all the time, but with most things, 70 to 80% of our immune system lies in the gut. So it really is so important that what we do from a diet and lifestyle perspective. As you said, you mentioned the stress and the exercise really affects how your gut bacteria works, which then has a interlinking role with our innate and adaptive immune system. So again, coming back to get the gut health right, and basically we kind of just want to eat for gut health, and that in a way really can boost, have so many positive effects on the body. And so what I would suggest from a nutrition point of view, and again, I know it seems like we repeat this often and you've seen it often, but it really is just making sure that factors, I guess, that really weaken the immune system that I see quite often would be people with sort of emotional stress. You mentioned stress and psychological, rates of depression are going up and anxiety, and this all, chronic stress really does weaken the immune system. And how it does it, it actually downregulates or decreases the number of and the activity of certain immune cells, like our natural killer cells and our lymphocytes, which are so important for fighting off infection. So stress, as you mentioned, like the exercise to combat the stress, because stress will naturally downregulate your immune response. So, while, the flight or fright can be beneficial, to fight infection, and it's very important. Chronic stress is something that we really do need to make sure that we're doing. So as you said, get the movement going. Make sure, even if it's like a song. Oh, we did a whole thing on stress, so I won't go into how to manage your stress, but I'm just going to put it out there. Manage your stress. It is just so important that you do find joy in your day. It's not just ha ha ha, because yeah, look, you could have a healthy diet, which would really benefit you, but the same, if you're consistently like that, also it's going to take a toll on your immune cells. So stress, yeah, watch your stress. As you mentioned, the lack of sleep. Now, the only times I tend to get sick is for, if I've had a couple of nights, like even Leo was going through a sleep regression, and I knew, waking up 2 or 3 times a night, if you don't get good sleep, it also downregulates that immune system, and you just don't cope with fighting off infection. And often, if you've got dormant, so if you do get, pardon me, get cold sores, or, reoccurring, like candida or something that seems to come up, it tends to happen when you're a bit run down, or possibly when you haven't had enough sleep. So that immune system is just getting burnt out a little bit. So sleep, we mentioned that, just yeah, and then I'll just even things like water, so ways that we can really keep our immune system nice and strong is, getting enough water. Your saliva is actually a very big point of defense. Think how much stuff that you might pick up and you put. So your saliva's got a lot of antibodies in it, and a lot of, viral fighting properties. So we want to make sure that we're producing enough saliva, and one simple way is just drinking enough water. So easy.
What's enough water these days, Kate? Like what's the recommended? Is it still a couple of liters, like 8 glasses a
It's
day? What
generally
do you
about
think?
8 glasses. Look, it kind of depends on your weight, your body weight,
Mm,
your size. So if we're thinking generals, sort of your 8 glasses of
mm,
water. I mean, if you're tiny, you get away with less. And also it
mm,
depends. I would say try not to drink too many diuretics as well, coffee and
mm,
teas. I know winter's a tough one at the moment, because, we want, like, oh, I want something hot, I'm cold. So it might be another cup of, black tea plus coffee, but really we want to keep that to a minimum, not more than two a day. But yeah, I mean, making sure that your urine is clean, is white. That's always a good indication. Um, I think, coming back to your diet, this is one that I see, yeah, just lacking crucial nutrients. So if we're coming back to the gut, and the research is just so strong on plant-based foods, plant-based diets, because the way those fibers interact with our gut is huge. And so we really want to make sure, like the New Zealand recommendations are 7+ a day. So 2 pieces of fruit, 5 handfuls of vegetables. Not often are we getting that. And so that would be a real big tip is just trying to get a different array of fruit and vegetables into, because obviously they've got all the phytonutrients in it, they've got phytochemicals, they've got, your antioxidants. So even like when you're, say, a bit stressed or maybe a little bit sleep deprived, right, you're going to be producing, and just part of normal cell metabolism, we produce free radicals, but when you're stressed, you produce more free radicals, and these are unstable molecules in the body that do damage to our DNA. So I know it seems funny, but every time that you feel more stressed is when you actually need to eat
Mm.
better. You know how sometimes you go, oh, I feel so stressed, I'm just going to go for that coffee and the muffin. But actually just think, oh my gosh, I'm really feeling the load today. Where's the greens? Where's the color? I need to like put beautiful color on my plate to help with that. So the more antioxidants is like anti-oxidization, they help neutralize those free radicals. So really try aim, especially in winter when all the lurgies and the ills and chills are around, but even just, long-term, reducing inflammation and, your adaptive immune system, just to protect that, you really want to get all those lovely fruit and vegetables. And I guess with protein is so important as well. So we get so many of our immune properties, like our zinc. So if somebody said to me some top supplements, I would definitely highlight, well, vitamin C if you're maybe not getting enough from your fruit and vegetables. Vitamin C is always really good. Zinc, like a zinc glycate or gluconate, so important because often, yeah, we just might need a little bit more. So, like, even during winter, I would take a zinc supplement just so I'm like keeping my zinc levels up above. We still, we get zinc from quite a good array of protein sources. Most of it, the more bioavailable would be your animal sources. So, yeah, vegetarians, vegans, I would say possibly, especially in winter when there's just so much around, maybe a zinc supplement would be helpful for them. And, if you're taking a multivitamin, or good quality one anyway, probably has zinc in it. So, uh, zinc, so protein. So basically try and think of having a protein source with every meal. So,
Mm.
breakfast, it could be, maybe some eggs or yeah, we do get it from plants. So we get a little bit of zinc in oats, but yeah, if you can get it from, yeah, even some of our dairy sources. But yeah, basically, and then lunch, obviously, you can do an omelet for lunch, or your chicken or your beef, poultry, fish. So I mean, zinc is in terms of its, oh, and also seafood, like go for gold on
Mm.
your seafood. If you can splash out on some oysters, they're good, or your mussels. Actually, mussels can be very cost effective. It's just sometimes a bit of a hassle to wash them and cook them, but honestly, they're very cost effective and good sources of zinc too. So your seafood is a big one to have. And so yeah, your again your proteins, just because proteins, your body's also, you need those proteins to help, produce the cells and your immune cells. So we want to make sure that, and also for rest and recovery, if you are fighting infection or you've got sick, you really want to load up on the protein. And again, this is where sometimes people go, oh, I'm not feeling well, I'm just going to eat the white crackers, the rice crackers that are just kind of around the house. We want to get rid of those. You want to be like, right, where's the boiled eggs? Where's even if it's some baked beans or, some tins of tuna, or so have these sort of protein sources around the house. If you feel, well, I always say have them around the house, hopefully in your natural diet. And and that's even smoothies, like protein powders can be also really quite beneficial, if you lose your appetite, and say if you've got like more of a, not so much of a head cold, but like a flu. Um, so from, yeah, a dietary point of view, I think, obviously we know the research is so strong on how sugar downregulates your immune system. So especially in winter, I mean, same with alcohol. So again, when there's just, if there's anyone sick in the family and you think, oh, just make sure you're off the alcohol, you're getting enough water, yeah, eating as well as you can. Um, oh yeah, the sugar. So gotta keep off your processed foods and your white flours. They absolutely just downregulate the immune system and put so much pressure on it. So again, if you're feeling stressed and you think, oh gosh, well, chips and chocolate are my sort of go-to, well, milk chocolate. We won't include good quality dark chocolate in there, but lollies and that sort of thing, which is often what I hear. Uh, so that would be something. Don't have those in the cupboard. So when you're feeling low energy, that you just want to like, you know,
It's
pick
funny
at
you
those.
say that, Kate, because I think we spoke about that the other day. You commented on my post about when I don't move my body, I feel
Oh
like sweet
yeah,
things.
that's right.
And
The sugar.
that just hits the nail on the head right there, right? Like so my body's craving dopamine, but because I'm not moving, I go for sweet foods to give me that dopamine hit. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, yeah. Because we
Mm,
know from learnt behaviors that sugar equals dopamine hit, makes us feel
mm,
good for that moment. So we're naturally going to reach out to something that's going to make us, feel.
mm.
So if we
And if
can just change, habit change is all about, okay, what's the trigger? What's the outcome that you want? You want to feel good. And that's where movement's really good. Or I'm a music
mm,
fan. So yeah, I always put a song on, something,
dancing.
right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And there was actually a study on did you hear about the house study in London or the UK somewhere, and how the beats per house music beats the 120 beats per minute, like improved your immune system, improved your mood, improved. There was all sorts of things that went on with
Brilliant.
good music. So anyway, digressing, but music can be very powerful from a stress management point of view. There's a couple of things that I. Oh yeah, I mean, did you have any like burning questions? Anything else?
I
Was
do. It's funny. I've got a couple of questions actually.
yeah.
We just spoke about this today. Frozen veggies, they're just as good or okay
Yeah,
as
yeah.
normal.
No,
Yeah.
there's actually been a couple of studies done and they didn't see a nutrient deficiency in where it gets tricky is how you cook them.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean you could also have a broccoli that's been sitting in the fridge for a long period of time, right? A fresh broccoli, and it's also getting a bit soft. So that starts to lose its nutrient deficiencies. But frozen vegetables, yeah, like if you're gonna take frozen vegetable, which in its whole is fine, you're gonna boil it or nuke it in the microwave for a long period of time, yeah, the it is going to decrease. But then so can fresh vegetables as well. So I would say kind of like stir fry frozen vegetables rather
Okay.
than nuke them in the microwave.
Perfect.
But
Oh,
yeah,
that's
good
good.
question. And those are great to add to like, casseroles and soups and that sort of thing. So,
Mm.
and that's where
We
smoothies,
was
I know smoothies, we don't just take out the frozen berries. You don't have to have, I still eat drink smoothies in the winter time. I just don't add frozen fruit to it to make it
mm,
really cold. You know what I mean?
mm.
And then it's great. You can add your spinach and carrot and, you know, like an apple or
Courgette. Mm.
yeah, like, yeah, absolutely. So, that's definitely a good one.
Mm.
Yeah, keep going with the questions.
Yeah, Adrian or Jeanette or C. If you guys have
But
any
Karen.
questions, like feel free to yell out.
I have a question. Um,
Awesome.
which zinc supplement would you recommend?
Mm. Good
So
question.
yeah, that's a great question. I mean, there's
Mm.
so many on the market. Some good brands. It depends. If you've got one, I kind of like to make my life simple a little bit. So
Mm.
if some things are combined, it would be handy. So like the say ethical nutrients zinc powder. Again, I buy a zinc powder because it's really easy for the whole family because it's you can sprinkle it on your wheat bix, you can put it in water, it's just throw it into things rather than a capsule. I mean, there are zinc drops as well, but
Mm.
so ethical nutrients you can get from the Chemist Warehouse has like a vitamin C zinc combination and that's quite good. Even clinicians does some zinc drops. Be Pure does a zinc supplement as well. Most brand, a Thorn, Sanderson's. So you know what? I will. do you get Adrian, I will put some of that in the guide that I'll send if that helps as
Mm.
well. And then I'll put them to the links into them. The
Thank
nice thing
you.
about zinc is that it's very cost effective. That and vitamin D. Now that's the one thing that I'm also a huge vitamin D is just so important for your immune system. I could probably do a presentation on that. But what we whoops, what we really want to do is like make sure even in winter that you're just if you can, if it's a beautiful day, just get some sunlight because you're going to get a lot
Mm.
more vitamin D than just a pill. But that would be something else. If you're somebody who doesn't maybe go to the gym and then work and doesn't get outside much, I would highly recommend having a vitamin D supplement. And maybe it's just, 3 months of winter and yeah, so you're taking 1,000 to 2,000 international units a day. Same with vitamin C. Sometimes we have lower doses that as soon as you start to get sick, if you're taking say 1,000 milligrams, just a daily dose, a little tablet, or I would put that up to like 2 to 3,000 twice a day.
Mm.
As soon as I get sick, it's zinc twice a day and a higher dose. So I'll put that down as well
Mm.
in the guide too. But yeah, you can really double up your vitamin D with no problem. Zinc, if you go too high, yeah, you probably don't want to go over like 15 drops or 15 milligrams per time. You could do that, split it twice a day. So 15 milligrams twice a day if you're getting sick. Zinc is one of those things that will make you feel a bit naughty, and you generally and
Mm.
definitely don't take it on an empty stomach because it will make you feel sick. It's not
Mm.
really going to harm you, but it'll cause nausea. So the yeah, make sure that you take your zinc with your food.
All right,
Is there
thank you.
is there a recommended time, do you know, of vitamin D exposure, like outside? Like, is there a time frame that you know of? Like half an hour a day or
Oh yeah, so well, like in summer it's about 10 minutes,
okay.
and in winter, yeah, about 20 minutes. So I
Eh,
just always try, go for a walk at lunchtime, or if I'm walking
Yeah.
to get Leo from school, or and I just like you argue because even like we put sunscreen on, right, on our probably on our
Mm.
faces, even well, sort of
Mm.
so if you can, if it's a lovely day, I mean, depends where you live, obviously if it's like 2 degrees outside, yeah, you're probably not going to have some skin being exposed. So that's exactly, if it's still not so cold where you are, try get some skin exposed on a daily basis, or, at least a couple of days a week.
Mm.
But yeah, otherwise, for 3 months of the year, take a vitamin D supplement. It does
Mm.
help a lot, especially if you're under a bit of stress too.
Mm. Mm. Definitely.
The other thing I would highly recommend, let me just take my
Yeah, you
screen.
might have to read it.
Maybe I'll blur my background. Okay, this
Okay.
stuff is gold. I'm going to send a picture of. I found this during COVID, and I swear the only time I got COVID was because I ran out of it, and it took a few days to get there. My pharmacy didn't stock it. Now it does stock it. This X Clear Rescue is amazing. You only use it when as soon as you start to feel like you're getting just feeling run down, like you're starting to get sick, and it's all completely natural as well. Oregano, eucalyptus, and you just spray it in your nose. And this has saved me so many times when, kids may be a bit sick and that sort of thing. So I highly recommend buying this online. I think it's about $35. It's well worth the $35.
Are they good for kids as well? Like, does Leo use that one?
Yeah, I do use it for
Mm.
Leo. Yeah. If
Yeah.
you've got allergies and stuff, they've got like a daily one that they can use, which is quite
Mm.
good too. I was using that um during COVID, but I tend to just use this now. The other thing I'll put in is um mushrooms, super mushroom
Mm.
complex.
Mm.
So mushrooms like astragalus or
Mm.
the reishi cordyceps, those guys can be so good at
Mm.
helping, especially like upper respiratory tract
Mm.
infections,
Mhm.
energy. I mean, they use some of those mushrooms throughout many hospitals in Japan, and I would highly recommend. So that's another thing that I also have in my medicine kit is like a super
Mm.
mushroom complex. It is from Metagenics. I'll see if there's one. I mean, I generally have to prescribe a metagenics product. There are some good other mushroom supplements out there as well.
Mm.
So it just depends what you need. I'll put that in a
Mm.
few other options. But yeah,
Mm.
medicinal mushrooms are quite fantastic as well. So
They're meant to be amazing, eh? Would you only take
Mm.
those if you were unwell, or would you take them all the time?
Great question. It depends on your level of health. If you were somebody
Mm.
that maybe was prone to cold sores,
Mm.
recurring infections, I would take it on a daily or like maybe a couple of times a week. I would take it on a regular basis. I
Mm.
don't suffer from like low energy or any
Mm.
sort of chronic infections, so I tend to only take it, yeah, if someone's I've been exposed to something or somebody's in the house is maybe a bit sick, but yeah, again, it's something that as soon as probably in winter, actually, I do take it probably 3 times a week just as a precautionary. So
Mm.
sometimes it's better to be precautionary than go, oh gosh, now I'm feeling under the weather.
Reactive.
It just hit me fast.
Mm.
So yeah, come during winter, I'm a bit of a pill popper, even though I try to, have my diet all sorted and enough vitamin
Mm.
C. I think with how busy most people's lives are and broken sleep times with kids, especially, or maybe even with
Mm.
menopause. Like if you find, okay, sleep is not good, it's not a strong point of yours, then I would definitely go for those extra supplements. Possibly
Mm.
there's medicinal mushrooms, um, yeah, and then your vitamin C, vitamin D.
Perfect.
I think that's
Mm.
and again, just I think that was pretty much all my
Yeah. I
um
just have a quick question.
yeah, sure.
Garlic, like kyolic garlic,
Oh.
what would be your
Mm.
take on that for a cold?
Thank you. That's such a good one. We can't dismiss some of the herbs. The herbs are so powerful and potent. So, thank you. Yeah, garlic is amazing. So definitely.
Mm.
Was a question on? I was just thinking about. Oh, garlic. I should have talked about garlic. Um,
Yeah, no, I
was it
take it and
around
I find it
supplements or
very
just
good, but
or
I
just
just wondered.
adding it to your food?
Well, I actually take it each day as a capsule, just as a preventative, really.
Mm.
But if I get a cold, then I will, like you say, double the dose, like what you recommended with the vitamin C. But I was just curious to see what your, take was on it for a
Mm.
general cold. Mm.
Yeah, definitely. There's so many amazing. We can't dismiss some of the smaller options and even like fresh ginger is great too. Turmeric, like curcumin too. So if you've got that inflammation going on, yeah, a curcumin supplement. But definitely, yeah, garlic is a great one to add. There's also, I mean, we could look at omega-3 fatty acids and their role of the immune system, which is pretty potent as well. So, I guess it's just kind of protecting the whole cell and make sure it's the
Mm.
whole, the cells working well, the immune system's working well. And so, yeah, it just, again, making sure you're getting enough healthy fats. So I know I talked about protein. I didn't want to make it like too much. Oh gosh, now I've got to remember all these things. But if you can remember, like, color your fruit and vegetables, yeah, your healthy fats, your avocados and your olive oils, because those all contain like polyphenols as well. And, but your garlic, your ginger, your curcumin, even herbs, parsley is good too. So,
Oh,
yeah,
so good. Thyme's really good as well. They say making a thyme tea.
oh yeah, and you
Mm.
know what? I
Really
know
good for
you
little
grow. I'm
ones.
pretty sure you grow
Mm.
oregano in your garden, don't you, Nikki?
Mm.
Oregano is
Yeah. And
amazing. Like the
so
antibacterial,
good.
antimicrobial components in
Mm.
oregano are brilliant. I mean, and that's what they've put in here. So
Mm. We
I
should
would
make our own.
you could, yeah, definitely. Like throw it into everything, definitely. Anything to help boost. But you just got to be aware of
Mm.
so there's one part of having components to boost your immune system. And then the other part is watching the things that down regulate your immune system.
Mm.
So, you might come away with this talk just going, okay, what are some things that I maybe need to boost? Just so you're not overwhelmed, like what I need to boost and maybe encourage, maybe more movement, maybe more vegetables, or maybe it's like, you know what, stress is a huge role in my life. I mean, I know diet and nutrition affect your stress, but maybe that's like, okay, I need to watch the things that are going to really affect my immune system badly, like maybe sugar, like stress, lack of movement. So yeah, just come away with things. Hopefully that's nice and easy for you. But you know what I will do, Nikki and I will put this together in a nice sheet for you with some recommendations as well.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. So
So,
we'll honor your
oh,
time. I've gone over time a little bit, but yeah, it was awesome. And thanks so much. We've had a wonderful time with everybody. So thanks so much for tuning in live.